Icy roads in many areas this past week kept a few consumers home. ICSC found a drop of about 1% in comparable store sales at the chains in the U.S. Nonetheless, the group predicted pent-up demand would give a boost to the chains this week. De Beers results were not much of a surprise considering market conditions. De Beers Group reported a net loss of $743 million. Sales fell 44% to $3.8 billion. DTC sales were off 45%. Retail sales fell 30%. De Beers also confirmed lenders have cleared the way for a $1.5 billion credit facility. Blue Nile's fourth quarter results were solid, especially considering consumer markets. But an interesting point worth noting, investors were not pleased with this Wall Street darling. Investors had much higher expectations for the online diamond retailer. Shares of Blue Nile slipped 10% following the disclosure of full-year results. Shares did stabilize, though, at $49 and change in the days following the report. Barron's called the business climate brutal and suggested Blue Nile's valuation was lofty. It is important, of course, to keep tabs on consumer sentiment as a future gauge of their spending patterns. There were mixed messages from polls by the Gallup organization this week. On a 14-day cycle, consumer spending declined and the economic outlook deteriorated from 2 weeks ago when we last shared this information with you. However, consumers said their standard of living and their mood, showing their level of happiness or stress, both improved, which are good signs. Looking at the numbers, consumer spending on a 3-day average rose to $72, about $7 higher than 1 year ago, but just yesterday that average was holding in the $57 range. Still, the numbers are a big drop from where they were 2 years ago. In the bigger picture for economic confidence, not much change since April 2009. However, in the past week, more believed that conditions have gotten worse at 58%, while 35% believed conditions are improving. Those saying the state of the economy was poor held steady at 44%, and 11% said the economy is in good shape. These numbers have varied only marginally since April 2009. The standard of living index has improved from 1 year ago by about 13 percentage points to 47%. Those who feel the standard is getting worse dropped to 32%, and that's the lowest reading in quite some time. Meanwhile, more than half considered their health and well-being to be thriving. That's up from only 40% 1 year ago, and 43% said they are struggling, and that is down from 50% 1 year ago. 3% said they are suffering, but this number pretty much always holds in the low single digits. Here is a look at how precious metals prices performed this past week. For all the latest industry news, be sure to check diamonds.net.